Arrest me, you cannot. Kill me, you will not. Last week on Daredevil, Born Again, my favorite quote from the episode that I didn't even mention in our after show because I was so overwhelmed with all the things that happened, and it doesn't slow down this episode, but that line is hard. That might be one of the all-time Wilson Fisk quotes that we'll get. He's off the hinge right now, Wilson, and in this episode of Born Again, we find that there's a lot of fallout from what happened from Vanessa, and it doesn't seem like it's going to slow down anytime soon. If you're just listening to this before you've seen the episode or something, I'm just about to say something that'll spoil the whole episode for you, so leave, come back later. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Daniel's dead, guys. Daniel died. Daniel. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm honestly in shock. I didn't think they'd kill him. It seemed like they were setting him up for a bigger story. But apparently, he's going to have to be a martyr for BB to take Fisk down. Because Daniel was in between a rock and a hard place, and the only person who really knew what he was going through was BB. And he saved her life. He got stuck in a situation praising Mayor Fisk. He was his number one cheerleader in the first season. He basically would have begged and worked for free for Fisk. That's how awesome he thought Fisk was. But Buck, he was given an order from the man himself to probably get BB, but if he can't get BB, he's going to have to kill Daniel. Because Daniel has been the leak, and one way or another, he's going to have to pay for what he did. And that task apparently was him capturing BB, taking care of her, even killing her most likely. But I think the plan was that he was going to take her to Buck, to which she would be murdered by him. He saved her life, so he ended up not on the side of Fisk. He ended up not going down that darker road. The actor gave us the performance of a lifetime, the young Mr. Gandolfini. He would have made his father proud. This was a big one for him, and I'd say that we're going to be seeing a lot of this actor in a lot of movies going forward. When he says, "Fuck you, Buck." How powerful was that? He says, "Fuck you," because you know what? That's not who he is. He believed in the good of Mayor Fisk. He believed that things could change, and Fisk was the one that could actually do that, even with a little bit of toughness and pressure. But things get worse and worse, and Daniel's trying to keep his composure this whole time up until it hits him in his face that BB has been betraying him and he's been being used by BB. So BB is going to carry a heavy burden of his death. She is going to probably take it the hardest of anyone because not many other characters are close to Daniel. It's very sad, honestly, and it was done super well. I did not see it coming. I did not think they would kill him off. I thought he would beat him to a pulp at the very least, and they would have taken him to Fisk. Maybe he would have done what he could to get Daniel to find her. They could have gone on for a few more episodes, but he has the gun in his face, and it took him so long to pull the trigger that you're absolutely thinking that he's going to just put the gun down, maybe even work with Daniel or do for Daniel what Daniel did for BB, which was give him an escape option, and that was not the case. Buck proves the difference between people like Daniel and people like Buck. He did not initiate Daniel into the gang when he made him bury the body. He broke Daniel in a way when he had to bury the body. Daniel immediately saw himself as a different person. I've done things, Daniel said. It hurts. It hurts because you see a character taking it on his own back because he didn't do things. He did a thing, and it wasn't even his choice that he had to bury the body. He would have gotten beat up and killed for not doing that, most likely. This is where we are always going to see Fisk as the perfect villain, but he is no anti-hero. He is a villain, and he's cool as hell, and Vincent D'Onofrio, he acts the hell out of that part. But right now, he's an unhinged kingpin, and anti-hero would be Bullseye. As bad as he is, as many as he's killed, he's an anti-hero. We get a little bit of him in this episode, a little bit of misdirection. I'm a little all over the place, so forgive me. This is just immediate reaction. We're going to be like kind of back and forth on the timeline here because I'm just sometimes like a character's death, it's like you see it coming from a mile away. The show does a good job of kind of surprising you with the deaths, which any good show should. Daniel was such a strong character that they usually don't kill off such good characters in TV shows. They give them a longer story, they draw it out, but I guess that's what makes for a better story overall. And when I rewatch the series, I'll know Daniel's end, I'll know his part that he plays, and I'll know how tragic his death actually is, because simply, he did not deserve it. Nobody deserves that, but he did not deserve it. Should Daniel have given BB up to Buck? MarvelManiacPod@gmail.com. I want to hear your take. Honestly, what do you think? Do you think it was the smart thing for him to do to let BB go? Do you think it was the morally right thing? Do you think he redeemed himself? And he didn't even have that much redemption. He didn't kill the guy of the body he buried. He didn't ask to say, "Can I come bury a body?" He literally just he just got caught up in this mess. And it's where politics turned into the mob very quickly. In the world of Daredevil, in the world of Manhattan, Spider-Man must be dealing with this on some level, right? The vigilante situation. I know they brought him up at one point. I think maybe, I don't know if it was last season or this season, but this Kingpin's like, people dressing up as spiders. It's like, Jesus Louise. I can't believe I forgot that line from Kingpin. "Arrest me, you cannot kill me, you will not." That was maybe one of the most well-delivered lines of the entire episode. I was just so taken aback by the action in that scene last week, that fight between Fisk and Daredevil, and I gotta say that was maybe the best fight we've seen out of them. You could argue that season 3 of regular Daredevil holds a bigger, better fight. Personally, I think this one reminded me more of like just a little bit more well choreographed, just the shot. Fisk was taking like Thanos level swings. He was just brawling at Matt. And that's last week, but it all leads right into this week. We get the start where we're always comparing the characters. We're always seeing Matt and Wilson, and they collide and they separate. But where are they after the collision? Matt is on a rooftop listening for sounds around the city like he does, and Kingpin is putting on a black suit, noticing that earring is missing from Vanessa. He still wears the white overcoat. Shows that he has mixed feelings. It shows that he's not perfectly together right now. Those two colors. He's wearing the black suit and the white coat. Not a black coat with the blacks. He's mixing colors. He's a little bit shaky. He strangles Karen because, well, he knows the situation between her and Matt. I think it's very interesting that Wilson never gives Matt up. Because it's part of the play he has on him. But at one point, I wonder if Fisk's next move will be to out Matt Murdock as Daredevil, or a fake blind, or get some footage or a picture or something to put out there to show Matt is like faking his blindness. Even though he is blind, the man can walk around, and do things that are not. That most blind folks can't. He sees the world through sounds. He sees the world in fire. It's what was once described. He is very self-aware of what's around him and what's going on around him. So I keep wanting to go back to Daniel because I'm telling you that he kind of slowly became one of my favorite characters. I kind of got bummed out about this death. I was sitting there looking at the credits thinking, wow, they really did. I knew it was going to be a big ending, but I didn't think it'd be that. Brutal, bloody culmination of a story ended. Makes Buck a little bit colder. Never as cold as Powell. What a jerk. Yeah, the show opens up with the song "It Ain't Easy" by David Bowie, and we get these compared shots to Fisk and Daredevil. And the Fisk, the first thing he does is he goes and visits Karen in jail. He chokes her after she tells him, "I've never seen you this afraid before," and he claims he's not, but he's afraid. He's afraid of losing things. He's trying to make moves in places that are a little bit above his level. It's getting real messy for him. He's just murdering people like every day now. Like he just killed that doctor the other day. Like things, I mean, you know that this show takes any single death very seriously because we're still talking about Ben Urich from season 1 through the BB Urich story that is culminating in death to this very episode. So we know that killing that doctor might come back to haunt him. I don't know. Am I crazy for that? I think for me, I feel like it's like when it reminds me of the death in Ant-Man where Darren, the villain who later becomes MODOK. We'll talk about that another day. But we'll talk more about that another day. Where he kills the guy in the bathroom in the first Ant-Man movie by turning him into goop, like a little tiny goop that he just wipes up with a piece of toilet paper. And then we never have to like worry or we never hear anything about that guy. Like he's missing, he's gone. Like this, the hospital kill for Fisk reminds me of that where I'm like, is there going to be no answer or ramifications for this death and people going missing under Fisk's watch? Isn't there anybody in New York who actually can do something about this? Matt's trying, but it all goes back to what Fisk said last week. Arrest me, you cannot. Kill me, you will not. That's Matt's morals. And I wonder if Matt is going to maybe go a little looser and maybe take some physical action to actually kill Fisk. I don't think he'll succeed, but I don't know. That's not in Matt's nature. It's very, very interesting where we're going in these next few episodes. We get, Charles getting confronted by Jessica Jones, bitching him out because he sent those people to her house and almost got her daughter killed. And Powell calls Jessica out about losing her powers, which, they seem to be going off and on. Every superhero seems to go through this at one point or another, but he does mention Luke Cage. He's doing something working for Charles, and we don't know what, but it definitely alludes to a new story or the next season of Daredevil or Jessica Jones in that of itself. Jessica Jones, Born Again. Can't think of anything new, but you know what I mean. And man, I just think that Jessica Jones leaving at the beginning of the episode, but also coming back at the end is kind of cool. But also, what are you doing to us, Marvel? Let's get it straight here. Let's keep Jessica in the picture, Like, why have her leave and then just come back? I appreciate that she came back. I do. But it just felt like a whole waste of I got to go now, and you're going to have to deal with Fisk, and he's not going to be easy, and bye. And then when Matt's shot in the church saying a prayer to St. Jude, was my dad's favorite saint. I need to go ask my dad why St. Jude. I'm curious because there's a lot of saints. St. Jude seems to be a very popular saint. I've probably known in my life, but it's slipping my mind now what he's the patron saint of. And apologies if you don't practice religion, but the show deals with it, so I'm just reacting to it. Anyway. So Jessica does point out one thing for Matt, and this culminates at the end of the episode. He knows that Fisk will make a play to kill the governor because the governor is ready to start getting him out of office, forcing him out of office. It's gone too far, and we see that happen. There's a man strangling her and in her own home, I think, her own home office. And who comes in to save the day? But it's Bullseye. He kills the guy. She sees him. He smiles and walks away, and he's free now. So I hope that was a good decision. We're going to be starting another season off with him throwing darts in someone's face. This guy is brutal. I think they may make a show or a movie for him for fan demands. And I saw today in a couple of news articles that this show's ratings aren't doing well. Are you serious? I think we got as a culminative fans and creators of Marvel, let's give things some breathing room. Like the Eternals. Everyone liked the Eternals at first. It wasn't MCU that we knew. It was something too different, too much. It was more complex. That's why people didn't like it. It had a little more to it. It gave you a little more of a plot dump. Why not? Because we have been fans of this franchise. We can handle a big movie like this. It's like an Avengers movie in that of itself. And I loved Eternals, and now people love it. But they canceled the sequels because of the immediate reaction. She-Hulk, for example. It gave Disney Plus its best ratings of any Marvel show. Yet, who was at the front line of answering on Twitter and X and social media saying, this is a MCU. I hate hearing that. Women can have superpowers. Women can be badass. Women can be awesome. And I'll just say this. She-Hulk was a great show. And I had fun watching. I'm going to watch it again now. Not in spite, but in honor. And you know what? I hope they bring that character back for the movies. There's so many pivotal pieces that Marvel has tried to put in play for these movies coming out, these Avengers movies, and they've done it a different way. And God, they haven't been perfect, but there are a lot of things they did right that it was just easier to say they're doing wrong, to jump on a bandwagon, to not have original thought, and to put something down. This is a mid-classic episode, Mr. Honest Rant, and I'm going to stop it there. But it all ties into Daredevil having lower ratings. You know what? It's one of the best seasons of television I've seen all year, by miles, okay? I don't know what Matt's real play is, outing himself as alive when he goes to Kirsten's aid to defend Karen. And they end the trial early. I wonder if they would have ended it early if Kirsten didn't allude to the whole city's watching, the whole world's watching. I think that's a name of one of the Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes. The whole world's watching. That's the one where John Walker does some really unforgivable stuff. There's a lot of themes of what's forgivable, what's not. Where is the line of too far? Who is willing to cross it on either side of the fence? That's what I like about this season of Daredevil. We got Matt and Wilson juxtaposed against each other, and they are walking moral lines, and how far they'll even leave their morals for bettering the city or saving a life. I think Matt has the advantage in a sense that he took a bullet for Fisk, but if Fisk outs him as Vigilante Daredevil, then he'll have to go into real hiding. Daredevil will be known as Matt, so when people see Matt, they'll see Daredevil and vice versa. Similar to, he doesn't got Doctor Strange like Spider-Man. He can't just make everyone forget who he is. You know, I wonder if we'll get a situation like that where he outs Matt Murdock. That's what my biggest guess going into the finale is. Daredevil will be outed, and we'll know the true identity, and Matt will be maybe considered like more of a con artist by the city because he's been playing a blind guy who's actually doing everything we know he does at nighttime. And we get a lot more Daredevil in the daytime shots this season, I'll say it. He's usually only out at night. We get to see him in the daytime a lot, and I kind of like it. His suit looks great still in every scene that we see him in, but I also gotta say I think he looks great as a lawyer too. I like seeing him as a lawyer. Yeah. So, yeah, the court case did go well in terms of the people watching it on TV. We're not going to see the fallout of that until next week. Maybe they'll conclude the trial. And there's going to be, there's going to be something about the attempt on the governor's life and Fisk being just manically insane right now. We don't know what he's capable of for this last episode. I don't know if Bullseye will come back into play or just be gone. I think them getting attacked in the garage. There's an attack on Matt. That could be totally used against Fisk and people who want to shut him up. And Matt could come up with a story about how he had to go in hiding because the Fisk personal bodyguards had a vendetta to kill him in his own apartment. And that even comes up in the court case. It's insane. And I really am just so curious how they're going to end it out next week for the finale. I'm ready for it. I'm ready and buckled in. I wish they put it out tonight. Honestly, I just want to see it. And a week after the finale, we're not even done. We get the Frank Castle, a.k.a. Punisher mini movie, Marvel special presentation, 1 week after the end of Daredevil. So I wonder if those will cross/tie in together. But it has been said multiple times before this season came out that this season will go into Spider-Man Brand New Day in a certain way. So we can expect some ties to the movie Spider-Man. Probably not getting a Tom Holland as Spider-Man cameo. I wouldn't expect that. I'd expect something to allude to whatever events are going to happen in that movie, which ironically we don't know a whole lot about. The trailers don't give away that much. It just gives just enough to just make you want to see it. So I think Daredevil is totally going to be in that movie. If his wound that he was shot, if it heals fast enough, I'm hoping he's okay. He always seems to be okay. He gets shot sometimes. He just keeps going. But I don't know. He's still a human. He's still human. He might need serious help. He might need a nurse. Maybe we'll get Claire to come back in that case. But yeah, I mean, I think I've said enough for this episode. We have a lot to look forward to in the finale next week. I'm going to try and stop procrastinating by playing too much Fortnite and watch The Punisher Season 2 on Netflix. I want to see that story before I see the next chapter in Frank Castle's story, which is going to lead to his story in Brand New Day, because he's a big part of that movie. It's a big year for the streets of New York City and the vigilantes that are trying to keep it clean. And if we don't see Wilson Fisk and Spider-Man on screen together, we will riot. No, we won't. But missed opportunity much. That is important. Kingpin versus Spider-Man is sacred. And Vincent D'Onofrio is perfectly playing the part on Twitter, saying, "I'm mad that we can't have Spider-Man meet Fisk." I think that is a pivot. I think that, sir, is a bold-faced lie. I think Kingpin will be in the movie, if not a bigger villain of the movie. But that's for another day. We will see. And let's just go peek into r/Marvel Studios to see what the fans are saying. I recognize this guy's name. He's definitely the number one first commenter. Valar Pizzerias. He says, "Dex's fucking smile while walking away from the governor's building. LMAO. This dude does it for the love of the game." Right? He's insane. He's just laughing. He has a grand old time whenever he can use his abilities. Solo 13508. He better be getting his own spin-off show. He's just too good. That's what the fans are demanding today. When it comes out in a year and a half, people will be like, "Who asked for this?" I'm getting really sick of that kind of stuff, honestly, in the fandom. I'm really sick of that. Josh DeBoss said, "Agent Nadeem mention. Woohoo!" I haven't talked too much about Agent Nadeem. He played a big part in season 3 of the original series. Let's see. Adorable Heir 6901 says, "So it was Luke that committed to working for the government." Yes, Luke Cage. Somehow, some way, he got convinced to be, as Floppy Shell Taco, whose name I recognize, a hero for hire. And that is a storyline in the comics. There seems to be a lot of potential of spin-off series or a lot of Defenders action, or maybe even a season of Defenders on Disney Plus. So we will see. Another comment by Floppy Shell Taco. "It would be hilarious if Karen used her one phone call to get Frank back in the mix." That would be dangerous. They'll know that she did it, though. And she'll be connected to him, too, making her even look more guilty. John T. Lurker said, "Look at the smile on Dex's face. He did a good deed. And he fucked Fist over at the same time." Yeah, I mean, he finally did something good. He's not redeemed, but he's getting there, I guess we could say. And a final comment I'll read is, "So Fisk got cameras in the bedroom and saw Heather choking Buck out consensually." I don't think that's how it went down. I literally think Fisk is so aware of Vanessa's presence to see one missing earring. Maybe it wouldn't have been like her. And how he put together that Heather took that earring is very curious. Also, Heather's beating the crap out of Karen. Fisk choking Karen. I mean, Karen's been going through it. Get her a super suit. Give her a freaking, I always say this, get her a super soldier shot or something. Make her a main hero. Yes, I do believe Sam Wilson should have gotten the super soldier serum. Hot take. I think he should have taken it. That's just my 2 cents. I'm so off the hook today. That's where we're going to leave it on the Reddit. Remember, reddit.com/r/Marvel Studios. The talk will be even bigger and buzzier by the time this episode releases. Go subscribe over there. Join the chatter. It's fun. So, with 1 week left of Daredevil Born Again, we have a lot to think about, like I said, going into the finale. Who will get arrested? Who will get killed? Who will make it out alive? Very simple questions. What will happen to Karen? Will Matt be outed? Will Daredevil actually fight Kingpin again? Probably not. They used that for the last time. Maybe this last episode that we saw that fight, because that was a big fight. I doubt they're going to even see each other again this season. So that was the climax of the season, and we're in the fallout. But it doesn't mean crazier things can't happen, like the death of Daniel. I'd say we take our hats off and take a moment for him, because he was fantastic. Michael Gandolfini, a lot younger than I thought. Wow, I'm like 8 years older than this guy. You'd be doing your father proud, Michael. That was a hell of a performance. You made everyone love Daniel, and then they had to take him away because he's a good guy. And he didn't succumb to the will of Buck and become as undone and unmade as Buck. He became somewhat of a hero. Thank you for listening. This has been Marvel Maniac and MCU Aftershow. Please rate the show. Give us 5 stars. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It goes the longest way. Join our Discord server. It's in the description of this episode, wherever you're listening to it. Rate the show. Again, that's the last time I'll say that. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, Vigilantes, disassemble.